fucking thing here.
I put my other glasses on today, I fixed them.
Oh, very swish.
Yeah, the ones I stood on, I just bent them back and put the glass back in.
Do they make you climb harder?
No, but I didn't want to wear the same glasses as you.
Well, I've got my new glasses as well. New glasses day.
Boop boop.
Hi, I'm Steve.
I'm Ben.
Welcome to Chats on the Mats.
Boop boop.
This is our first episode, and we thought we would tell you kind of what we're aiming to do, what we want to do with regards to Chats on the Mats, really, what we're all about.
Yeah. Chats on the Mats. Where did it come from? What?
Yeah, so basically, I find that when I'm bouldering,
Yeah.
95% of the time, I'm sat on the mat complaining about why I can't do
Yeah,
a move.
yeah.
And it's bouldering, really. My boulder gym, or our boulder gym,
Yeah.
is more of a social club than
Yeah.
a climbing gym.
Yeah.
I go
Definitely.
there as much as I do to climb, as I do to chat.
Well, it's where we met each other.
Exactly that. And
Yeah.
90% of that happens whilst chilling on the mats.
Yeah.
So the idea of Chats on the Mats was to extend the idea of that situation just a little bit further afield from climbing.
I suppose when we went into lockdown back in last March, whenever it was,
Yeah.
we thought, or one of the big things that we missed about climbing, obviously we missed the climbing itself, but one of the big things was the social aspect. That I'm sure everyone felt that as well, but we really thought that that's maybe the reason that we climb.
Completely. The circle of friends that I've got through climbing are some of the best people that I've had the privilege to meet.
Yeah.
And being separated from those people for so long really sucked.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was hard for me, although I had it pretty good. So I'm sure a lot of people struggled quite badly. So
I mean, yeah, I was sat here under a woody in my garden, so I suppose I'm very privileged and very lucky to have that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a world removed, from a year ago, thinking what we were going to do, and now we find ourselves, like I say, pretty much a year to the month past that initial lockdown, and we've all put on a few pounds. We've all got a little bit weaker, hands aren't feeling as great, the skin feels terrible, but it's kind of exciting to get back to the gym.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the problem is now that the chats on the mats are going to be in the gyms a little bit further removed still than what they were. So again, this is a nice way to at least try to come together a little bit.
Yeah. So, Steve, tell me a little bit about how you got into climbing. Where did you first start climbing? Because this is about climbing, right? We're talking primarily about climbing.
So I got into climbing about 5 years ago.
Okay.
I had a friend that climbed. I've always wanted to give it a go. I'd done it, in my youth, whether it be through the Army Cadets or seen it on TV, had this sensationalized idea of what climbing was. People just, going to mountain ranges and climbing up rocks.
Like Everest or whatever.
Yeah, exactly that.
Oh,
that. And I had no idea the difference between, mountaineering, bouldering,
Sport, trad, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. And you first go into the gym and they ask you, you're going to be rope climbing or bouldering, and I was like, I haven't got a clue what those are.
Yes, I will be.
Yes,
one of
whatever
those
you will
things.
allow me.
Yeah.
Exactly. So basically, it was through a friend. We did some top roping. I did maybe 4 or 5 climbs, and I was destroyed. I think I managed to scrabble up a couple of low fives.
Did they teach you how to belay?
So no.
Okay.
No, they just let me climb.
Yeah.
The first time, basically, and there was a friend of theirs that was there that was belaying them.
Yeah.
Again, this whole tying in and the figure of 8 knot, I'm thinking, well, is that safe? I think the same things as everybody thinks when they first tie into a rope.
Yeah.
They're like, well, can you explain to me why this is safe and why that's done? But the first time that I climbed, they told me all these things, and I have no idea. I couldn't
There's a lot of information, isn't there?
There's so much information. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you've done your first couple of climbs.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
After my first session, I had fallen in love.
You got the bug?
Oh, completely. I was sat having a pint. Obviously, you've got to have a pre-climb pint in the cafe.
Yeah. Post-climb.
Post-climb.
Post-climb. Pre-climb.
Pre-climb.
You go into the centre pit.
We cannot condone pre-climbing pints.
Yeah.
I can't say that we've ever not had a pre-climb pint, but
yeah, I've not, for the record. Shut up. I've never done that.
So having a post-climb pint and feeling my forearms burning and my skin and my fingers, and the next day I woke up and I was aching in places I didn't realise that I had.
Yeah.
That I was like, wow, that was a really good workout. It was challenging, and it kind of seemed to fit into a niche in my life that I was looking for in terms of fitness.
Yeah, man.
So straight away, I thought, well, this is for me.
Cool.
What about yourself? How did you get into climbing?
It was back, I think I was like 20, maybe.
20? You're only like 21 now, surely.
34, mate.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's a good many years ago, shall we say. And a mate of mine who I was living with, who I've known for a long time, basically took me to UCR, back when it was called UCR, and we got into climbing. He was basically, he was saying he wants to climb, so he's going to teach me how to belay. And we used to boulder a lot, in the tide a little bit at TCA when it was there, and then got into lead climbing, top roping, and throughout the years I've kind of gone on and off climbing as being my main sort of thing, and then in the last maybe 4 or 5 years it's sort of my life now. So
that first session that you had, what was it, a rope session? Was it bouldering?
I can't remember. I really can't remember the sort of first time I climbed. I can only remember just climbing,
And it was what, bouldering
and lead
ropes.
and top rope and everything. I can't really remember when I first started climbing at Red Point. I think I went back to top roping because I didn't have anyone to climb with, and I had this thing where I would
So Red Point is our local
Yeah.
gym here in Bristol. We're really lucky in Bristol. We've
Yeah.
got such an amazing climbing community. It's like the Sheffield of the South.
Yeah.
As close as that.
Sorry,
you
I
can
should have
get.
said, shouldn't I? So like UCR, I was talking about Undercover Rock, is now called the Church, and they've got a rope climbing centre and a bouldering centre, and then there's Block, which is a bouldering centre, and Red Point, and now Red Point have opened Flashpoint, which is another bouldering centre. So there's
And there's TCA.
yeah,
as
well,
well.
that's TCA UCR, isn't it?
TCA,
It's the same
UCR, two
thing.
different,
Yeah.
but the same.
Same.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're very spoilt. But yeah, I just remember sort of the first sort of time I was coming to Red Point, I had to find new partners and teach those partners how to belay, and then they would get into it, and then I'd climb with them for a bit, and it was always someone from work or something, and then they would go off and do something else, and I would have to find someone else. So yeah, that's kind of my my climbing history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it would be great to hear from you guys about how you got starting climbing, to see if there's kind of a general trend in the way it does seem to be the case, at least to me, that the majority of people start climbing because of a friend. Maybe they've got a bit of an interest in it, and a friend has introduced them. But you work at Red Point.
I do. Yeah.
Now I see a lot of people do the taster courses, whether it be couples or groups of friends and the like. What do you think the percentage of people that are introduced, because you see them go through reception, people being introduced into climbing via a friend, in in relative to the amount of people that book taster sessions?
A really good question. I'm sure if I really wanted to, I could find that actual data for you for Redpoint, but we won't. I think it's probably. I think it used to be more people would just come in with friends, and that was really popular. And now we're seeing, or pre-COVID, sorry, we were seeing a lot more people booking onto taster courses. The amount of people that then went for a taster course to a beginner's course is very high.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so like a taster course is just getting a little feel for climbing, and then a beginner's course is learning how to tie in and belay and that type of stuff. A lot of people are now moving away from that gym kind of, I hate to say it, but like that gym bro mentality, like, oh, let's pump iron, blah, blah, blah.
Do you lift, bro?
Yeah, that, exactly.
Do you lift, bro?
Yeah,
But bro,
like,
do you lift?
100% that. And then they go to climbing where it's a little bit more like you're not really in competition with anyone, you're in your own journey and everyone's sort of in competition against themselves, or not in competition, just having fun.
That's the great thing with climbing, is the only person you're trying to beat is yourself, or better is yourself.
Although I do try and beat you when we climb together.
Well, yeah, this is true. If you stick a move, and
yeah.
I can't say that I'm not gutted that you've stuck a move.
A few moments later.
Stop you mid-flow to announce I would like cereal.
You fancy some cereal? What was your favourite cereal?
I'm really digging those like Alpine type ones, which have got like nuts and a bit of like chocolate
really
and really
No, I'm all about the rabbit poo looking Nesquik jobbers.
I mean, they're quite good.
I don't know why they made them look like rabbit droppings.
They're delicious though.
But they're really tasty.
Yeah. Have you tried Cookie Crisp?
Can't say
they're like little mini cookies. They're bad.
Is that the dude with the wolf?
Yeah. You know it.
I know.
You've got to get on them.
I know the one. Yeah. And the things that I learn in one session about climbing, thanks to bouldering and chatting with someone on the mat, than a partner who was just trying to get me up the wall on a rope. The dynamic had changed. Instead of how do I get to the top on the rope because I just want to get to the top, it became micromanagement on the moves that I was doing, and all of a sudden I then really started to understand what climbing was all about, and that was a whole new chapter to me.
That's it, isn't it? Once you get that bug, and that's what I think we've found, or I found, like interviewing people and seeing new people coming through, like interviewing people for work, seeing new people coming through the centre. That bug, once someone gets that bug, there's so many people that like started off with, I just kind of got into climbing for something to do, and now they're kind of live and breathe climbing.
It's funny.
It takes over, doesn't it?
It really does. It really does. I think, like I say, I'm more of a boulderer than I am a rope climber.
Yeah. And I'm probably more of a rope climber than I'm a boulderer.
Yeah, exactly. But I've now, from learning bouldering and the difference of actually, if I just move two fingers on this grip,
the nuance of climbing.
Exactly. So that was something that I didn't even comprehend before. And the reason why they're called boulder problems, because it's a puzzle
you have to solve it.
Which again, when I first realised that, was a revelation. Like I need to work out how to do it. Well, those are the holes. I just need to use them to get to the top. But it's not just you need to use those holds. It's how you use those holds. Body position, weighting, fit. There's an infinite kind of library of moves now that I've got in my catalogue. That there's V0s and V1s, and in the majority of climbing gyms show you how to do. But until you've potentially gone through that and you look back, you go, all of these problems are set not to just make them interesting, but they're like almost like a table of contents of things that you
need to
do. Yeah, exactly. But before you progress, and that really hooked me in.
Yeah,
really hooked me in for climbing.
But I suppose that bouldering, that social aspect of climbing, even sort of the being outdoors and sat on the mats outdoors, that's kind of what we want to do.
If there are any types of episodes that you would like to see, or any topics,
topics for us to chat about.
Yeah, exactly. Give us content. We want to get from you so we can start giving back. I hope you've kind of managed to get through our inane kind of chatter for our
Yeah.
first episode.
We'll probably put some climbing. We should do some climbing, right? And put some
Yeah,
climbing stuff in episodes.
Yeah,
We'll climb.
tops off,
Beanie
beanies on.
on. Yeah. Typical boulder. I wish I wasn't, but I think we're probably still punters.